My name is Monica Urban, and the title of my proposed study is The Impact of School Start Times on Adolescent Achievement. The study is presented to the University of West Alabama Department of Graduate Studies, SC 605, Applied Behavior Analysis. The purpose of the study will be to determine the extent to which school start times impact the academic performance of adolescents in the secondary education school setting. Sleep patterns play a crucial role in the development of physical and mental health, particularly in this age group, according to Alfonsi et al. In 2020. Despite research supporting the benefits of implementing a later school start time for adolescents, many school systems are reluctant to implement this change. The study is a research proposal only and is not designed for actual implementation in the Birmingham City metro area. The data from Table 1 represents the academic achievement scores for the top 4 high schools in the Birmingham metro area, according to U.S. News & World Report in 2020. Proficiencies reported in the area of math and reading. Table 2 represents the current start time for each of these 4 high schools. It can be noted from reviewing this data that the schools with the later start time have reported higher academic achievement scores on the ACT Aspire test. It is well known that sleep plays a critical role in both physical and mental health. According to Watson et al., short sleep in adolescence is associated with poor school performance, obesity, metabolic dysfunction, and cardiovascular morbidity, increased depressive symptoms, suicidal thoughts, risk-taking behaviors, athletic injuries, and increased motor vehicle accident risk. In spite of this data, which was reported in 2017, some schools in the Birmingham metro area are still resistant to changing to a later start time for high school adolescents. The study's research question is, to what extent does a delayed school start time influence the academic performance of adolescents? The researcher hypothesizes that adolescents that attend school with a later start time will exhibit higher academic achievement scores and academic performance than those adolescents that attend a school with an earlier start time. The definition of terms for the study are as follows. Early start time, students that begin school before 8 a.m. Late start time, students that begin school after 8 a.m. Achievement scores, scores on state-mandated tests. Academic performance, classroom and final report card grades. Adolescence, according to Psychology Today, the transitional stage from childhood to adulthood that occurs between ages 13 and 19. For the purposes of this study, an adolescent will be referring to ages 16 through 18. There's been much professional literature on the later school start time during adolescence. The researcher examined literature regarding the benefits of a change in school start time on adolescent health. The current theory regarding this in education is that adolescents do not reach optimum levels of achievement as a result of lack of sleep. A later school start time has a positive impact on adolescent health, both physical and mental. A later school start time can reduce the school system cost of transportation. A later school start time can lead to a decrease in teen automobile accidents. Three best practices have been identified based on the literature in order to facilitate the implementation of a later school start. The first best practice is to educate the community. According to Dunster et al. In 2018, when sleep duration increased, there was a 4.5% increase in median grades. According to Wallstrom in 2014, this additional sleep led to an improvement in academic performance outcomes, including grades earned in core subject areas of math, English, science, and social studies, plus performance on state and national achievement tests. Finally, in one North Carolina district, later school start was shown to positively impact economically disadvantaged minority students and low-performing students. The second best practice is the impact on adolescent health. Alfonsi et al. In 2020 stated that insufficient sleep in the teenage years has been tied with a wide range of adverse outcomes affecting their lifestyle. This includes mental and physical health. Another serious consequence is mental health, as represented by the elevated rate of suicidal thoughts or suicidal attempts in sleep-deprived adolescents. Some benefits of the late school start time include an improvement in bodily health and mental health. Proper sleep is linked to reduced inflammation, healthier weight, better cardiovascular health, and longer lifespans. Additionally, sleep reduces stress levels, decreases anxiety, and can alleviate the symptoms of depression, according to Rapana in 2014. The final best practice is transportation costs and student safety. The Boston City Schools implemented Plan BIRD, where start times were separated into 3 equally spaced tiers. The times were 7:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and 9:30 a.m. This resulted in $5 million in yearly savings. The plan also led to an estimated reinvestment of up to $18 million into classrooms, according to Bertesmas et al. In 2019. Kanawha City Schools were able to implement safety measures on their buses. They installed new safety lighting on 50 buses that served students on rural routes. They also added new blinking stop arms on 10 buses, according to Drellinger in 2019. 1-hour school start delay led to a significant drop in auto collision rates for high school age drivers. The average crash rates in the 2 years after the change in start times reflect a significant decrease of 16.5% in the study, which was done by Danner and Phillips in 2008, as opposed to a significant increase of 7.8% across the same time period in the rest of the state. The type of research design is proposed to be quasi-experimental using a non-equivalent control group. The math and English teachers who participate in the study will present lessons based on the Alabama State Department of Education standards for core curriculum in their subject area. The teachers at individual high schools will be provided a common planning time during which they can share ideas and discuss implementation of common lesson plans. They will attend professional development together, where they will be given standards and curriculum which matches those standards that they teach with. The teachers participating will teach the same lesson for 2 semesters or 1 full school year. During the first semester or 18 weeks of school, the test grades for each student in the various participating high schools will be recorded. During the second semester or last 18 weeks of school, this process will be repeated. The semester grades at each high school will then be analyzed using the process of ANOVA. The students in the control group at Oak Mountain High School will begin school at 7:50 a.m. First period instruction will begin at this time. The warning bell for the first period will be at 7:40 a.m. The students in the experimental group will begin first period at 7:55 a.m. or later, as set by the local school. The sampling for the population of the study will be approximately 120 high school students enrolled in first period math and English classes at 4 metro area high schools in Birmingham, Alabama. Caucasian, Black, African American, and Hispanic populations will be represented. Participants will range from ages 16 through 17 and grades 11 through 12. 1 intact Algebra 2 class and 1 intact Algebra English 11 class will be chosen using convenience sampling. Algebra 2 and English 11 were selected based on the fact that schools in Alabama are ranked based on their math and reading scores. Classes at Oak Mountain High School of Algebra 2 and English will be the experimental group. They will be approximately 74.6% Caucasian participants, 12.2% African American, and 6.1% Hispanic. The male to female ratio at Oak Mountain High School is approximately 52 to 48%. Participating Algebra 2 and English 11 classes at 3 other high schools in the area will be the control group. The control group will be approximately 88% Caucasian, 4% African American, and 3% Hispanic. The data will be collected, reporting information into iNow or Information Now software by each teacher. Student assessments will be summative in nature, covering one full chapter or a few sections of certain chapters found in the math book and English book. The iNow software program for completing grades is widely used in school systems throughout Alabama. It is an easy, secure method of recording grades that has been proven to be valid. The software includes data validation checkpoints. The letter grading system is widely used and has been proven as reliable for a method of reporting. The confidentiality of the participants will be assured by using a number system. All participants will be required to read and sign consent forms. Consent of the school superintendent must first be obtained. Once this consent is obtained, the researcher will then present the study to the school administration. The school administrator, once the study is approved, will then allow the researcher to send consent forms home with the students. A consent form must be signed by the parent and brought back. If the form is not brought back, students will not be able to participate. The students are also going to be required to sign an assent form. The resources used for the study will be provided by the school in which the study is done. These resources will be discussed with the administrators and teachers and include desktop computer or laptop, a printer, paper for printing materials, and iNow software. When considering the implications of the study, it should be noted that according to U.S. News & World Report in 2019, student achievement at Oak Mountain High School is ranked 9th in the state of Alabama and 4th in the Birmingham, Alabama metro area. The researcher hopes to uncover one method to make a school that is already great even greater, that is, the later school start time. Not only will individual grades be influenced, but ultimately school-wide achievement scores as well. The remaining slides list the references used for developing the research proposal.